Mhm. So I'm not sure how knowledgeable are you with the sacred contracts and the archetypes, but my studies is with Dr. Caroline Mays, and I find her teachings connect to me because I had almost like a parallel lives with her. Like she has the Catholic background, I had the Catholic background, and in this lifetime, I actually relived my archetypes because my archetypes are like I had the nun archetype. So that happened to me when I was working as a nurse for 8 years, night shift, and I was holding Divine Mercy Rosary, and I was praying for the souls. And in one particular month, 23 people died, and I was with the person that died. So I used to have this log book, and I write down the resident's name and the date that they die, and I have 30 of them. Yeah. So I knew it was my calling, and it's amazing. It's amazing experience because when they die, they literally um, they open their eyes if they're comatose, and then they're like in awe and like thankful. They're smiling, and I could smell death. I could literally smell when they're going to die. So I'm gonna call the family like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm calling the family as if I know, but I know, and it happens right away. So there's so many experiences of death with me, and the room fills with their soul. It's like a expansive, the soul when it comes out, it's like holy. It's expansive. You could feel. So that archetype was a nun, and I was having problems with my sexuality. Yeah. So I literally I had to recognize where is it coming from. Why I have these energies. These are actually blueprints. So they're energy that you're doing and you don't understand why you keep doing it. So that's one of my archetype. And another one is a healer. Because I had experienced healing, giving healing. And the next thing I know, the person is healed. Like one was actually having a heart problem. And most of them are actually cancer. I spent time with cancer patients, and out of the blue I would see them like after 5 years or bump into them, and they'll say, "Oh, Tessa, I'm healed." And I recognize that I have this gift. So, but my problem with the healer contract, the archetype, is like I always believe the healer is not me. I always believe it's you and the divine, intervention. But then I had to recognize that this is a gift. So I need to surrender. So when I surrender to the healer archetype, that's where I'm flowing now. Out of the blue, yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome when you seal the contract. When you recognize. So the wisdom is actually transcending your archetype. So there are 4 survival archetypes. There's a prostitute, which is actually, it doesn't mean it's sexuality. It is actually selling your spirit. And it's weird that Dr. Caroline Mays explained married women are actually in that prostitute energy when they're not happy with their marriage, and then they stay in the marriage because of the survival. So
for security.
Yeah, security, But it's amazing because when you transcend this energy, you accentuate the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So basically what you're doing is you're inner strength is your spirit. You become powerful. And obviously the shadow attribute would be to place material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So the 4 archetypes, the major archetypes that humanity goes through is victim. Victim. There's a lot of victims, you know. And saboteur, we destroy our own selves. Saboteur. And yeah, I could relate to that. And the child, the inner child. There's a lot of different childhood. So there's the wounded child, and there's child eternal. So there's all these different categories of childhood, whatever childhood you had. So these 4 is given. So we have the victim, prostitute, saboteur, and the child. So now when we recognize our relationship with these archetypes, we transcend them. Because you finally recognize and you finally see that the destroyer, the saboteur is you. And when you discover that it is only you that's, you know, sabotaging yourself, you become self-empowered. The saboteur becomes, you know, it brings changes into your life. Right now I'm writing about archetypes, and it's so funny because every time I write, it's what I'm going through. So it's beautiful experience because I'm relating to the archetype. It's actually alive. I couldn't, you know, like on December, I found my my journal in December. Because being a mystic, one of my archetypes is a mystic. There's a borderline of insanity. Yeah, it is. So when I'm in my mysticism, everybody has to watch out, you know, because they think I'm going crazy. It looks crazy. Obviously, yeah. My children would see me dancing for 3 days. I wouldn't eat for 3 days. All I do is divine connection, dancing. I feel the energy of humanity. Like on March 11 or 12, I felt the tsunami. I was just going through a rapture, and I can't help it. I'm going into this mysticism. Obviously, I need to know myself. So when I found out that, you know, I need to accept that I'm a mystic, and that's a gift. So I recognized the pattern of the insanity. So I needed to balance every time. So my nursing is actually my grounding. Because if I stayed in the mystic stage, I would be in the mental institution because nobody could relate to me, like, you know, literally. So grounding for me is action. The nurse, the healer, the caregiver. And as a healer, I know most of you are healers. As a healer, you have to recognize boundary. It's very big, you know, in our, we need to balance, and we need, as a healer, you're also a rescuer.
It's challenging though.
Yeah.
It is challenging.
It is a challenge for healers. So,